In the news this week, Westminster gives initial support to a new divorce-on-demand law, the Christian Institute challenges Newcastle Cathedral's blasphemous LGBT festival, and judges overturn a forced abortion ruling. Hello. Westminster has given its initial support to a bill which will make it much quicker and easier to get divorced. MPs backed the Divorce, Dissolution and Separation Bill without a vote. It will now be scrutinised by a parliamentary committee. Under the proposals, a spouse who is being divorced against their will has no opportunity to contest the proceedings. Fiona Bruce was among the MPs challenging the government over its divorce-on-demand plans.
I think that these proposals, despite what the Minister says, will actually do even less than current procedures to help promote dialogue and potentially, therefore, reconciliation. There are currently approximately 10,000 divorces each year, which are started and then dropped. Many couples do give their marriage another chance, but these proposals, effectively promoting unilateral divorce on demand simply by serving a notice on the other person that the marriage has broken down without having to give any reason at all, and without the spouse being able to contest this, should they want to, I believe will actually inhibit the dialogue which could just promote reconciliation in some cases.
The DUP's Jim Shannon also warned that the legislation promotes marriages that prioritise individual freedom and liberty rather than self-giving, sacrifice and commitment. Newcastle Cathedral has been confronted over an upcoming LGBT festival. In July, the cathedral is hosting 6 events, including a panel discussing queering the church. A church curate who describes himself as genderqueer will be among those discussing how the church can go beyond tolerance to inclusion. The weekend will also see a communion service with an LGBT emphasis. Colin Hart, the Christian Institute's director, said such festivals lead people away from the good news of the gospel. In a place of worship, and even at a Holy Communion service, there is to be what amounts to a blasphemous celebration of sexual activity outside marriage. The Scottish Government has sidelined controversial transgender guidance for schools. The guidelines advise teachers to allow children to use the changing facilities and toilets of their choice. It was originally backed by the Scottish Government. In 2018, the Christian Institute threatened legal action, telling the government the guidance was incorrect, misleading and misguided. Parents, teachers and women's groups have also spoken out against it. Cabinet Secretary Shirley-Anne has now recognised the serious issues involved and pledged to replace it with the government's own version. And finally, a court ruling that a woman with learning disabilities must have an abortion against her will has been overturned on appeal. In June, Mrs. Justice Leven ruled that abortion was in the best interest of the woman, who has the mental age of a 9-year-old. Doctors told her that she would be put to sleep, and when she woke up, the baby would no longer be in her tummy, but she would get a new doll instead. But following an appeal by the lady's mother, the unnamed woman will now be allowed to continue the pregnancy. John McKendrick QC, who was representing the woman, said the judge's conclusion about her best interest was flawed. There is a clear overall view of a young woman who wishes to have a baby. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.